What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you all doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and this is my review for Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. Now, for those who are watching, I have just finished the movie, and I love it because, one, I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, and two, I couldn't point out well, okay, never mind. I point out one thing wrong with this movie, but that's just a personal thing. But this movie is really good. Now, for those who, now this is going to contain spoilers, is what I meant to say. So, if you don't want to know what happens in this movie, I'll give you a couple seconds to leave. But, if you're staying, I hope you enjoy this. So, Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods is a movie that takes place after Majin Buu. And this is one thing. This is not just for Dragon Ball Z fans. If you are not a Dragon Ball Z fan, and if you watched it, you will not be lost. Because the movie actually starts by telling us things about, like, when Goku met Bulma, and, like, it tells about all the battles that they've had. It catches someone up who has not watched the movie, and that is a really good thing. It makes me think of Halloween H2O. They catch you up, and you know about Michael, and you know about the story. They do the same thing here, and it is really well done. They talk about how Goku's fought Frieza, Vegeta, Cell, Majin Buu, and they talk about, like, how they've defeated all evil, or so they think. And this is where we are introduced to the character of Lord Beerus, who is a god who sleeps about every couple hundred years, and he wakes up and he goes and checks things out and destroys things. And they all talk about every single villain that they have ever done. They're like, oh my gosh. There's usually always villains that make people freak out. But this makes people freak out even worse. Beerus, they know that Beerus is... I don't know if Beerus can actually be killed. I actually don't think he can. And so that was... They do explain about things with Beerus. And so, like, Beerus wakes up and, like, they decide that they're going to, you know, do their usual thing. They're going to go check out the Earth, or check out the planets and destroy whatever they want. Well, when the Kais figure out that Beerus has woke up, they start talking and they say, do not tell Goku. Do not tell Goku. I repeat, do not tell Goku. And Goku finds out. He wants to fight him. And Beerus talks about how he had a dream about this Super Saiyan God, and so that's basically like the whole thing of the movie is Beerus is wanting to find out who the Super Saiyan God is and someone who can test his strength. And, like, they do tell us a lot of things. For example, that they tell us about Frieza. Because, like, when Beerus wakes up, he's like, did Frieza destroy that planet Vegeta that I asked? And, like, his friend, I forget his name, Queef, I think is what his name is, or something like that. And he's like, yes, he did. But Frieza's been killed. And this is what makes him interested in, like, the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God. Because Frieza was the strongest in the universe, supposedly. And he's like, someone more powerful than Frieza? Okay, I've got to meet this person, because I want to fight him. And so he goes to King Kai's planet, he meets Goku, and Goku basically asks him, he's like, okay, can I spar with you? Can I just test my limits? Can I test your limits? He's like, alright, fine, we'll have a little spar, let's go. And it doesn't take Beerus long to put Goku down. Oh my gosh. He goes all of his levels, and he just knocks him out like that. And so we find out that it's Bulma's 38th birthday. Oh my gosh. Okay. Character-wise, everyone is the same, except the best character growth I love in this movie is Vegeta. Because King Kai tells Vegeta about, tells him about Beerus, and he's like, oh crap. So, like, we actually do see a very good character development of Vegeta, who goes out of his way to save the Earth, and usually Vegeta does, but in this way it's a little bit different. And I really like that. So, like, when Beerus shows up, he's all freaking out. Oh, gosh, okay, I've got to keep him calm. I've got to make sure he doesn't want to destroy the Earth. And, of course, things ensue that make Beerus want to destroy the Earth. He gets in a fight with Majin Buu over pudding! Over pudding! My gosh! But it's just so funny because when they get there, like, you know, it's Bulma's birthday and she's wasted, and it's funny. This movie is very funny. This movie has a lot of good comedy. It has a lot of good action. And I'm just going to tell you right here, right now, the animation in this movie is beautiful. It is absolutely phenomenal. And so is the fighting. But we get Beerus and his friend, who is basically eating food and just having a good time. And while Vegeta's all panicked, like, okay, I've got to just make sure. He's like, this is good. I just got to make sure that no one ticks him off. And, excuse me, while he's doing that, things start to happen. They start enjoying food, and they eventually come to they want to eat dessert. And Beerus' friend eats the pudding. He tells Beerus about pudding, and he's like, oh, I must try pudding. Majin Buu took it all because Majin Buu's a freaking fatty. And so this, unfortunately, starts getting things going. But before that, we run across the villains from Dragon Ball. Like, the very first villains of Dragon Ball. And, like, how they're not aging. And, like, I wonder, okay, why is that? And apparently, they made a wish that they could be younger. Which they might have done that in Dragon Ball. It's been a long time since I've watched Dragon Ball. But like we get their shenanigans and how they're wanting to be rich and control the earth, you know, like usual. And like we get some really funny shtick between him and his minions, and also between Trunks. And it's so funny. So many funny things happen in this. The one character in this movie I honestly can say that I hate is Gohan, and it's not because I hate Gohan. No, I love Gohan. Heck, my favorite freaking moment with Gohan is either when he's in the Cell games or when he fights Bojack. And the fact of the matter is that I understand that, like, through the whole entire thing, Chi-Chi was like, Gohan has to study. Gohan needs to be a student. I understand that. But the fact that they made him into a nerd, and this is like before Dragon Ball GT. And like, they just have him be not Gohan. And I was like, oh, come on. He was the savior of the Earth at one point. I was like, guys, he was stronger than Goku and Vegeta put together, thanks to Goku. And I was just like, man, why? Oh, why? He does have a good moment in this movie. And then he pulls out the Great Saiyaman thing. I was like, oh, why? But hilarities ensue, and Pan gets shot, and we learn that Pan is pregnant. But she doesn't know. So, when Beerus starts attacking, they all start fighting, and we see, and here's where we see the best character development of Vegeta, is when Bulma starts noticing, she's like, hey, this is my party, how dare you start destroying things, and she smacks Beerus, and he knocks her out. And I was like, oh, and this is where we see the best character development from Vegeta himself. Because they have never shown that Vegeta loves Bulma. I'm like, they kind of do, but it's more like, I'm more annoyed with her or something. But when he smacks Bulma, Vegeta's like, how dare you smack my wife? That is my wife! And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing from Vegeta I have ever freaking seen. Not showing that he also cares about the Earth, but that he actually does love Bulma. And I was like, this is really good character development. I love this. And he got so pissed off that he went to a level beyond Goku because he was so furious. And he actually starts fighting Beerus, and he lasts for a good while, but then Beerus unfortunately knocks him out, and then Beerus is like, I'm gonna destroy the Earth. But then Goku comes back, and he's like, I haven't figured out something with the Super Saiyan God yet, but so he's like, I have one idea. And so they decide that they're going to get the Dragon Balls. They're going to get the Dragon Balls to bring Shenron in and have him explain. And they even find out that Shenron is even afraid of Beerus. He's like, okay. This is freaking scary. Because, like, Shenron, like, you never see Shenron afraid of anything. Usually they're afraid of him. But, so, like, he explains that the only way that for Goku to become a Super Saiyan God is that they must have, and he even explains the legend. So they have to have 5 pure-hearted Saiyans to do it. And Goku basically asks, can we please at least allow me to transform into a Super Saiyan God before you destroy the Earth? And Beerus is like, yeah, sure, whatever, you got 5 minutes. So when they do it, they figure out that something's not right. And so they figure out that they're missing one member. And they actually make up a pretty good point. They're like, we only have 5 members, we don't know anyone else. And Bulma's like, don't you have a brother or something? And Vegeta's like, he's in another galaxy, I don't even know where he is. But then, like, Pan reveal, or not Pan, that's the Videl. I might have said Pan by accident. But Videl reveals to Gohan that they do have another Saiyan. That Videl is pregnant, and even though it's not a full-blooded Saiyan, it's still a Saiyan. So with all of these 6 people around, they give the power to Goku, and Goku is a Super Saiyan God. However, they do reveal that the Super Saiyan God doesn't last very long. It's like the fusion. Oh, and we even see Gotenks in this movie, because Goten and Trunks fuse together to take on Beerus, and when he's done fighting Beerus, he's like, just take the pudding. Oh, just take the pudding. But Goku and Beerus fight. And they fight all over. They fight underwater, they fight underground, they fight in the air. And unfortunately, eventually, like, we find out that Goku has been holding back. He's like, yeah, I've only been going at like 80% myself. And Beerus is like, okay then, because he thought Goku was going at his full strength. So they fight, and then Goku loses his God power. And I was like, wait a minute. They said that he could only last against Beerus. And it's like, you know, they're fighting, and I'm like, they better explain this. They better explain this, and they do. Because like, when they're fighting in space, Beerus is like, have you not noticed that the God power went some time ago? He's like, oh man, it did? And then Beerus is like, however, it seems because you have experienced the power, your body has pretty much... He pretty much says that because Goku has experienced the God power, he's gotten stronger, so he can go toe-to-toe with Beerus. And Beerus is like, I'm gonna destroy the Earth now. And when he does, Goku is holding it, and he's like, I can't do it. And Beerus is like, well, then I want you to give up. I want you to hear you say give up. But Goku doesn't. And so, like, Goku is using all of his energy pretty much to hold this power. And his power, unfortunately, goes away. And then, like, Goku is somehow able to absorb all this power, and he even transforms into Super Saiyan God himself by 1 minute. Or, like, he's able to turn into a Super Saiyan God on his own thanks to the power that he absorbs. And he does it because he imagines, like, with the world being destroyed, and he knows that if he doesn't beat Beerus, the world will be destroyed, and it'll be his fault. So he uses that to absorb the power. And Goku admits that, okay, I cannot beat you, and Beerus admits that Goku is the second person to go toe-to-toe with him like that. They reveal who the first person is, but I'm not going to spoil that. But so when they go back, they do a little funny moment where Beerus destroys the Earth, and he destroys a little tiny part of it. And that's the thing. I love Beerus' character. He's so funny. This movie has so many funny moments. You will not have it. There is not a dry moment in this movie. It makes you laugh. There is really good moments in this movie. Oh my gosh. And so, Beerus and his friend Queef, I think is what it is, or I can't remember. But they go back and they reveal who Beerus' strongest opponent is. And they do this joke where Beerus eats a whole thing of wasabi. And I was like, oh my gosh, even because I love sushi. And they do so... Beerus breaks the fourth wall in this movie. It's so funny. So, like, when he's like, how long will it take us to get to King Kai's planet? About 26 minutes. Huh. That's the original runtime of an anime episode. And I was like, oh my gosh, Beerus, you break the fourth wall. Beerus is such a funny character. It is just so good. He is a really, really good character. He makes this movie so funny. Everybody does. Well, except Gohan. But he wants to be woken up in 3 years, so that way they can go back and they can eat. That's pretty much what he does. And so, like, the movie ends with Bulma slapping Goku because Goku, 1, didn't show up for the party, and 2, when he showed up, he watched Beerus fight and beat up a lot of people. And Goku and Vegeta have their fighting moments. He's like, the next time we do that, I get the God Power. He's like, yeah, alright, I'll let you do that. Oh, and by the way, after the God Power, you kind of get hangover. But there was not one thing about this film besides Gohan that disappointed me in this movie. They explained everything. They closed plot holes. When the movie starts, they have plot holes and they close them up. You know, like I said, if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and if you pick this movie up, and if you even rent it or watch it, you will be caught up. You will understand things that have happened. You will not be lost. And I honestly don't see how anyone could not like this film, because it has great animation, the fighting is good, the storytelling is good, all the characters are good. This movie is a good movie. I'm going to give this movie an A. I'm going to give Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods an A, merely not just because I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z, but because of how the story is good, all the characters are great. This is honestly a movie you will not be disappointed with. Even if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you will like this movie. You really will like this movie. But guys, that has been another episode of Phenomenal Views. Put in the comments below, if you have watched Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, what do you think of it? I love this movie. I personally want to know, what are your personal thoughts on it? What did you like? What did you not like? I really want to know. Guys, I hope you have a good day, and I thank you for watching this video and taking your time out of your day to watch this video, and I really hope that you have enjoyed it. I do want to watch Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F, but I'm probably going to wait until that comes out on DVD. But, yeah, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this, and have a good day.